The first transaction was Monday between dollar yen, and it was based in soft ISM that backs and dollar lower total bonds. This one is an article of Reuters. In this one was saying the greenback on track for its biggest drop since late July, provided that in these weeks the report on service, employment and speculation on interest rate does strike the price of the dollar. Due to it with it along, provided within that probably its rise trend, it was going away to repeat in if it was cheap. In the moment, since it was adapted, the transaction that we realized was positive, that we obtain earnings.
Was euro dollar. For the transaction we used to notice, the first was euro region growth boosted by sports as investment stalls, in which one we could note that the economy in the eurozone were in increase in the second quarter of the year because of the improvement in the exports according to the data published by the European Union Statistics in Luxembourg. The exports made the biggest contribution to growth, adding 0.5 percentage point. Also, the gross domestic product increased 0.3% from the previous quarter. Additional to this information, the article Dollar Falls Treasury Rise a Week US Data Spot Feed Waggers talk about the dollar weakness against its major peers and its biggest back-to-back slide in more than a month. The stocks fell and bonds climbed after data showing a slowdown in U.S. services boosted speculation the Federal Reserve will keep a lead on interest rates. The Bloomberg Dollar Spot Index, which tracks the currency against 10 major peers, retreated 0.% in New York. So, according to these two articles, the euro gained more competitiveness against the dollar because of the improvement in their exports and the weakness of the dollar in this week and the fall of the US stocks. For this reason, the most convenient transaction was to make a short, as we did in this week.
Between euro pound, and there was based in Morgan Stanley says that the stimulus can stop seeing euro bull run, and United Kingdom government delaying decision may threaten green investment. The first article speaks on the rise of the euro and that this one doesn't go be stopped by the Central European Bank. And the second speaks on the probable decrease on investment in United Kingdom. We had the supposition of which the euro could sell expensive and buy cheap. And if it was like that in the moment, would we enter if it were? But we didn't close the operation at the moment. For this, we'll lose an hour later.
The last transaction of the week was Canadian dollar. The notice we used to make this transaction was Canada steadies as oil rises, equities dip. In which one it talked about the consequences of the rise of in the oil prices. The oil prices rose after U.S. industry data showing in a large drawdown in crude stocks, reflecting the impact of an Atlantic storm. U.S. crude prices were up 2.07% to $45.44 a barrel. So this is very important because oil is one of the major Canada exports. So according to this article, the rise of the oil prices improved the competitiveness of the Canadian dollar against the dollar for this week. That's why the most convenient transaction was to make a long, that was what we did, obtaining gains.